Okay, so now that I've got my computer working at a fairly decent pace again, I figured I'd get this show back on the road. A couple of days ago, a friend of mine noticed that my game collection is filled up with a couple of ones that he hadn't heard of. So I figured I'd play them for him and show him exactly what they were all about. That led me to think, why exactly are there games that nobody's ever heard of? So on that note, I've decided to start something called the Unspoken Series. Reviews about games that I seem to possess, because I seem to find them on the rare occasion and really want to play them out of curiosity, but games that were made that should have been recognized but were left behind in the wave of commercial mediocrity. So, on that note, let's begin. My first game on the Unspoken Series is called Alter Echo. Now this game, for its time, I do believe it was released about maybe 3 years, about 3 years ago, give or take, was a masterpiece of its time. It was a jewel. It was the first PS2 game I ever picked up when I got the console. It was probably the best $7 I have ever spent in my life. Anyways, gameplay, to begin with. It's very reminiscent of Devil May Cry, although very similar to a lot of other crawlers, sort of Prince of Persia, the sort of brawler type game, you'd figure. You spend your time running around, sort of hacking and slashing, and beating the crap out of pretty much anything that comes your way. Now the thing about it is that the people at THQ actually threw in something that really caught me by surprise. They are capable of changing forms on the fly. Now this was a revolutionary tactic. I've never seen something like this used in a game before. Never, not once, probably will never see something like it again. But it's very unique. This allows you to change between sword, gun, and stealth forms. Allow you to change and chain these three forms into some ridiculous combos, but it is beautiful. Now, here's another thing. Graphics. This game had a very unique look to it. This coincides with the story. Apparently, you're on a world that's covered, which surface is covered in a substance called multiplast. Now, this game essentially takes place on a planet where you're trying to fight your way through for survival. The thing about it is, it's not the enemies in general that are trying to kill you, but you get the sense that the planet itself is trying to kill you. Now that adds to it. Gameplay-wise and graphics-wise, this adds a sort of edge. It makes it look and feel very claustrophobic, like you're really alone. Sure, there are times when you get allies to help you out in that. They're really not all that much help. There are times when they can be, when providing me with some additional cover fire, but I suppose that really adds to it. Sound-wise, it's beautiful. I've never heard very much in my life. Jerry Belangieri, one of the best-sounding producers. I've heard a couple of his other soundtracks. I can't exactly name them off the top of my head, but that's beside the point. Going on, storyline. Very in-depth storyline, although there is one minor problem. It was way too short an experience. If this game had been longer, it would have been so much better. Essentially, it takes place where you're a shaper, a psychic capable of manipulating the plast on this planet. You're capable of shaping it to your will. And the plast is alive. It sort of helps you at specific points. And then you have Pavo, the scientist who helped made the plast better. Now, he's trying to kill you, and he's using the planet to do it. So, that's generally it. It's a very impressive game. If you find it, pick it up. Try it at least. If you don't like it, there are some things that are just worth looking into. I seriously enjoyed it the first time I played it. Another instrument of gameplay that I totally forgot about, Time Dilation, where you enter this little sort of snake style minigame. and you move around. It's rhythm-based. It's very interesting, and it adds a certain sort of edge to the game. Bottom line, 8.5 to 9 out of 10. There were a few small details that I didn't really like, but this is actually one of the greatest games I've played for the PS2, hands down. There is no question about it. The sound's great, the graphics are beautiful, the gameplay's solid. Character-wise, voice acting, it's all... This game has practically got everything you're looking for in an action brawler style game. It's an adventure, it's action, it's brawler. You gotta love that. Any fan of Devil May Cry, Prince of Persia, would definitely appreciate this series for what it is. It's a definite gem. I'm definitely declaring it now, 9 out of 10. There were a few pointers that I didn't like. The AI was a little bit predictable, and sometimes it got annoying, but besides from that, I see very few flaws in this game. Well, that's the first of my Unspoken series. Comments would be welcome. A little criticism would be nice, as long as it's mild. I don't want you guys insulting me over my stuttering and lack of computer processing speed. But aside from that, first of my Unspoken series, there will be more, I assure you. Anyways, Valias, Trevor, Valias, whatever you want to call me, it's all the same to me. Over and out, first of Unspoken series, by Alter Echo. That's a command from your god. Just kidding. Get the game, try it. You don't like it, that's your opinion. But I definitely think it's a jewel. 9 out of 10, great game. Pick it up, or at least rent it. You owe it yourself to that. Anyways, that's my time. I'm out of time. So, over and out.